The weather terrorist.
All right, one of them said you.
Mm-hmm.
Carl Gerbschmidt back with us. We don't want to keep him any longer.
Are you really having like a rally for your stupid football?
What's wrong with that? You should appreciate that.
Why would anyone go to that?
You have stockholders meetings.
Yeah. Why is this any different?
We have business to take care of. It's your business, Tom.
You have stockholder meetings in jerseys.
You haven't been taking care of your business very well lately.
Yeah, we did just fine this year. We were cheated, so that's fine if you want to go through though.
Are you delusional enough to think those really are business meetings like you have any real power?
Yeah, I have a lot of power.
Okay. All right, if you say so. Colts favored by 7.5 over the Jets. That's the line we're going with. Colts, first game Sunday, home standing, 7.5 over the Jets. Carl, we start with you.
See, I think this is, everybody is wants to believe that Jets are really good because they've played, and I don't think anybody even watched the Colts play last week. I don't think a lot of people even realized it was on. So I think that the problem is that, remember, the Jets would not be in the playoffs if the Colts hadn't let them in. So I think the Colts will usher them out, and I think that the Colts will win this by 3 touchdowns.
You don't think it's going to be close?
I don't think so. I don't think either game is going to be close.
Dan from Woodbury.
Just the opposite. Broadway Joe, number 12. You add those two numbers together, that's 3. They won Super Bowl 3. You take 3 times 6.
Are you a
that
numerologist?
18. Yeah. That's 18-point underdogs. 7.5 point underdogs doesn't divide evenly to 18, but so what? I like Rex Ryan. I like guys that inspire their team. I like the Jets in an upset.
I like the Jets to cover, but not to win. I'm going to go, basically in both these games, I'm going with quarterbacks is what I'm doing. And I think Peyton Manning is unflappable. I think he'll make, I don't think that he's going to crush them the way Gerby does, because that's really not been their style all year. But I do think they'll be comfortable, and Manning will make enough plays. The kid quarterback has surprised me a little bit. He's made a couple of plays. He won't play. He'll play well enough to keep them in it. They'll run well enough to be in it. But the Colts, you're not gonna get to Manning. He will find a way to make just enough plays, even against the master of the son of the guy who created the 46 defense. I'll take Colts to win, but Jets to cover. Joe Nelson. Jets to cover. Joe Nelson.
Want to say it one more time?
That's enough.
He'll take.
Nelson.
What's that?
Who's that?
He's the guy who is supposed to really pay attention to our picks and compile them for the next week.
Did you cheer me earlier out of this game?
That's the one.
What a jerk.
Yeah, none of us really like him. I'm with Carl. As crazy as that is to sound, Carl's making a lot of sense today. The Colts lost their perfect record when they decided not to play against the Jets, did they not?
That's why I call it poetic justice. If they would not have let the Jets, if they would have won the game, the Jets wouldn't be here to beat them.
They would.
Jets are going to beat them because of that.
They were up 15-10 that game.
Ditka agrees with you. Ditka says it's karma. That they lost something in that act that they're never going to get back.
I love it.
Dicka's a moron.
And I think he was sleeping for the
Early
first 5 minutes of the interview.
I think we woke him up from a nap.
So he didn't know what city he was in or what he was saying. I am going against that. The Colts will cover that 7.5 points.
All right, the other game, I think, is the Saints and Vikings. That's the late game. Woo-hoo. Let me remind you of how full the schedule is on Sunday. And, Carl, you might...
Gerby, could we take another break here quick?
No.
We're a little behind.
I have to go.
All right, well, the bottom line is this. I've got some station promoting to do. 9 to noon... Well, actually, we should probably start with 8 a.m. Is that official yet?
Yeah, that's official.
8 a.m. is basically a Vikings on-demand on the air.
Correct.
Is that what happened to Packers preview?
Your guy didn't want to do it. Your guy goes belly up as soon as your team loses.
I doubt that. He's a true professional.
Dave Sinekin?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Pro's pro.
Well, in any case, 8 to 9 is one Viking-related interview after another. Players, coaches.
Wow. I like that.
Are you okay, Carl?
It makes me so up.
Now, then you'll vomit twice because I'm on 9 to noon. Guardsy and I
extend your Sunday sermons.
3 hour Sunday sermons.
It's like during the holiday season, like during Easter and Christmas, they add an extra service.
That's it.
They're just adding an extra hour because this is such a big weekend.
It's a big weekend. We're going to play back the big interview with Mooch.
Aren't you kind of milking that a little bit?
Well, yeah, a little bit, but it's people in this town, believe it or not, care.
Charge the station. Who's making stupid decisions like that?
Well,
Young Abbott.
Yeah, that'd be the main guy. In addition, we'll have Seifert and Bursic.
Yes.
So it's going to be power-packed 9 to noon. Then another pregame show, basically pregame to the pregame. Henry Lake, I believe, and Chris Baker. That's going to be...
starts at what time?
5:30.
And you start at 8 in the morning?
Correct.
Yeah, because you probably won't repeat yourself at all during that time.
We have.
When is Dan from Woodbury show?
They didn't ask him.
Didn't ask me.
Yeah.
Tee to Green starts in April, Carl.
Yep. Actually, May.
May.
Yeah,
I see the page.
April's a little early.
Yeah, what kind of... Do you have no lives?
Saints...
Why don't you get out? Enjoy the outdoors.
Did I just hear you?
Do something normal.
I just heard you, Carl Gerbschmidt, ask of us, do you guys have lives? Is that...
It's like, how can you listen to that over and over and over?
Saints favored by 3.5. I think they make that 3.5 in the business over the Vikings. Of course, that game is at Superdome. Carl.
I would like the Vikings to win, believe it or not. This week, I would like the Vikings to win. Okay, there's a guy from Minnesota who works in our office, and we don't listen to him a lot.
Okay.
But he's just obnoxious this week with his little Vikings. And so we're trying to figure out what would be worse for this guy. Would it be worse if the team wins and goes to the Super Bowl and then they lose? Or would it be worse now that they think they're such hot stuff that they would lose this week? And I think it would be worse if it was this week. Because I think a lot of Minnesotans expect to lose the Super Bowl. But I think they don't
laugh at your own jokes, please, okay?
I don't think they expect to lose this game. But guess what? You're going to lose. You're going to lose. You got your whole defensive line is hurt. Your little drug-addled receiver is not going to play.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, he's a druggie.
Well, former.
In college.
He's reformed.
Yeah, sure he is. Yeah. Took another one, Percy Harvin. He's not going to play. But you know what's really going to fall apart this week? Brett. He's going to fall apart. But hear what? I'm not entirely convinced that he's not going to do it on purpose.
Oh, he's going to throw the game.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's quite a charge. Now, let's see. You've threatened a judge.
We'll see what happens.
You've threatened to blow up the boat of a judge.
I think this will be over by halftime.
Okay.
I think the score will be something like 40-3.
Now you're being silly.
And New Orleans will win and cover.
Dan from Woodbury.
It'll be over, finally. And then you can do 8 hours next week on how terrible you are.
Well, that will do. Trust me. Dan from Woodbury.
Remember the movie Speed?
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't slow the bus down under about 50 miles an hour?
Yeah.
The bandwagon's full steam ahead.
Locomotive.
Down 35 into the bayou. I don't know how I could get off now. I'm going with, again, it's irrational. It makes no sense, but there is magic. Number 4 found some old magic in that Vikings helmet he put on, and I think he's going to dance around Superdome, the House of Pain. There is a house in New Orleans they call the Superdome. And I think Favre will be victorious.
So you're picking them not only to cover, but to win.
The Vikings will win.
Now, does this temper your enthusiasm at all? ProFootballTalk.com, Florio, one of your favorites, reporting that 3/4 of the Vikings' starting defensive line is now listed as questionable. Fat Pat Williams, foot injury, missed practice Friday. Kevin Williams, limited basis, practice Friday after missing 2. Ray Edwards, limited basis, practice Friday after missing 2. And
ouch,
Percy Harvin, questionable at best. You want to change your pick?
Why don't we take a break and come back, and you can change it?
Can I pass and come back later?
What a shame it had to fall apart for you.
Wow.
Vikings will cover.
So bad.
You think about it. Meantime, Vikings will cover and they will win. And I'm going with the QB. Same thing. Yep. I'm going with them, and I do think Peterson's going to be a factor in this game somehow, somewhere.
He's going to drop the ball.
Well, he could do that, but I don't trust the Saints against the ground game, and I do think I'm not going to say rout, but I'm going to say I feel very confident that even with the injuries, that your Minnesota Vikings are just simply a better all-around club. I like this defense a lot. Even injured, I like this defense better than the Saints defense. And here's the key to it. Saints defensively, they're the kind of defense that they don't succeed without turnovers. So if Peterson coughs it up and Favre throws 2 or 3 interceptions, then it's all bets are up. I don't think they're going to give him the turnovers. And for that reason, I think that's going to be enough of a difference.
And I do believe in a little bit of, you can list anybody how you want on that injury report, can't you?
Absolutely.
So you can
that's
say
part of the game.
That's right. So I think maybe
That's
there's some
Belichick.
subterfuge.
Yeah.